Hello guys, welcome everybody. Welcome to our channel. This is part 2. If you haven't watched the part 1 video, go back. I'm giving the link in the iCards. So go there, check out the part 1 video. We have shared a lot of tips, and in this video we are going to share a lot more tips, and I put the total roadmap here. So it's going to be amazing. So I am going to give it to Saketh. Hello Saketh, how are you?
Hi Fanindra, I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's jump into our onto our questions. So first one is like, how do you start actually?
Like, how do I start? Like for the placement preparation, do you want to?
So like, how do you start and how do you applied for? How do you applied for the companies? So many companies you have placed in HOTSTAR right now. How you applied for the companies? You got the offer in Offcampus, which is not easy at all. So I want to know how you applied for a lot of companies and how you got placed actually. What's the story of the placement?
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. So as you said, yeah, you're right. I think it's a bit more difficult when you are applying off campus as compared to on campus. You have a bit more less chances, I would say, off campus.
Yeah.
So yeah, applying at the off campus part becomes a bit more tricky. Sometimes you need to follow some tricks, maybe you can say some rules, vague rules when you are applying to off campus, so that I have learned through my personal experiences that I would like to share. So like for applying, first of all, I started applying through LinkedIn. Basically the main platform that I followed basically for applying off campus was LinkedIn. So what I did was after having a resume created and got over the resume many times and like changed many things on that, I started applying to many like vacancies over different platforms there are, and one of them was LinkedIn. There are other platforms like Naukri.com and etc. But I would suggest to start with LinkedIn, which is a very great platform, I would say. So the main methods that I followed for applying for off campus was that one of the methods is that you just go on the company's websites, official careers websites or pages, and then you apply from there. You got the vacancies there, you got different profiles, job descriptions, you can apply there. So another method is what I followed was that you can directly get referrals from the working employees of that company, which may refer you after looking at your profile and resume. So that gives a better 20 to 30, or I would say 50% more chances of you getting that opportunity with a better hands, I would say, as compared to the other that are applying.
Referrals are very
another
method.
Yeah, exactly. And another method that is that you can cold mail to recruiters. You can cold mail to other people who are there asking for help, how to like set up some conversations with the recruiters, or you can directly cold mail the recruiters. And another vague method is also that you reach out to people, like directly over LinkedIn messaging. You can reach out to different people, maybe recruiters, make your connections, your network, and then reach out to them. But I would suggest people to get referrals if they can. In most of the times, referrals will get you will give you a better chance over others. Cold mailing also helps, but I would suggest get referrals. Apply to the careers page as well. But if you can get referrals, try to get referrals.
It will give you a level. You can skip the resume checking part if you get a referral, because someone refers you because your portfolio must be very good. So then only someone will refer you, even if he's a complete stranger. So that's one of the good thing I learned today. Thank you. And my second question is like, after applying, most of the important thing is resume. So how do you prepare your resume, and what are the things to include in it? What are the platforms are best for preparing the resume, and how do you resume in total? Things total about resume.
Resume, as you said, Fanindra, is really important because it's going before you are there. So it's showing who you are as a person, I would say. So for the resume part, I would say that use standard templates. There are many templates over different platforms. From my personal experience, I've used Overleaf. LaTeX format, you can use LaTeX format resumes, a template. Try to be inside when you're writing things in your resume. Try to be crystal clear. Try to be crisp. If you are applying as a fresher, then try to write things that you are very good at, or maybe you are comfortable answering questions of that topic, because they might ask you if you have written that in your resume. Third point would be that keep it short and crisp in points, I would say, rather than long paragraphs you're writing. I would say just write points. When you are highlighting your strengths, write it in points so that it becomes easy for the reviewer of the resume to just go through that in like 1 minute or so, and then judge it where like you're a good potential candidate for that profile. And another point is that when you are making your resume, let your work speak for you rather than you. So keeping things crisp means that you are including your profiles, maybe your problem solving. If you are very good at problem solving, you're enhancing your resume by inculcating in itself the links to your profiles that you're doing that practice on. Maybe projects you have done, you have hosted it on somewhere, maybe you have code that is on some GitHub or GitLab or something, you are just putting that links over there. So that is also a reflection of how you have done these things, rather than you telling that I've done this. Your work speaks for that. And I would say at the end of the day, if you are at the end of the priority of these checklist for a resume, I would say that if you're applying for a job ID, just go through the job ID and description before applying, and then if you have little tweaks about your something is needed and you need to highlight that skill, then you can just a little bit tweak your resume. So that things might help you. So these points, whatever I learned through my experiences, might help you as well. They helped me. So
and like you can have each resume like for every particular job. For example, you have more interest like web development or data science, it can't be correlated. You can't apply with a web development resume to the data science and data science resume to the web development. So you need to specify everything for the role actually, right? So it's great. And you're saying a point actually.
Actually one point, if I have to just one more add a bit more or carry on the top, I would say that just get your resume reviewed by people like who are experienced, who are working, maybe who are recruiters. Just maybe you can start with your friends who are doing good, who have like good placements or who have applied off campus. Just get a thorough, maybe go through their resume that where can I improve, like these bits of pieces also puts a cherry on the top when you are finally applying to your prospects.
And that we have that's a lot of information to go through, and that's great. And the third question I want to ask is like, what are the resources for coding and what are the subjects generally asked in the interviews actually? So can we have a bit look on that?
Sure. There are from the coding perspective, if you are applying for a software profile, maybe development profile, core profile of development or software engineering, then programming is required from your side. You need to be good at problem solving, and so you need to be hands-on with programming as well. That is expected. So you can focus on many resources. Internet, there are many resources, many platforms are there. So you can code on different platforms like Speaks for Geeks is there. You can code there as well as read articles and descriptions of different topics there. HackerRank, HackerEarth, CodeChef, CodeForces is also there. Code Signal is also there. For interview preparation, you have InterviewBit. LeetCode is also there, which is very, very much a helpful, I would say, platform where people are sharing their ideas as well as preparing for the interviews. There are many questions over there as well, which are directly asked in many interviews. So there is a list. So for perspective from the interview point of view, you can just go through those questions which are frequently coming, right? They are standard questions. They are coming in many interviews. So you are covering a whole set of companies rather than a single one. So there are your chances of getting into one of those gets higher when you are doing those questions and good with those concepts. So I would say, these are the platforms. And from the perspective of the subjects, core subjects, I would say that operating systems, computer networks, database management systems, these three would be, I would say, more important. They are asked more frequently. They are asked more frequently in an interview, or maybe they will be helpful basically throughout the process whenever you will get a subjective question. it can be from these three. There are chances that it can be from somewhere different also, but higher probabilities that
Yeah,
they will be from either DBMS, OS, or network. So you can follow Geeks for Geeks, or maybe standard books are also there. So yeah, you can watch videos, courses, but I would suggest follow Geeks for Geeks as well, because that is a very, good source of everything. You can get many things on there. So yeah, that is a crisp and clear source for many things. So I also followed Geeks for Geeks a lot. So yeah, for those subjects you can follow those things.
There's so much resources there. You need to stick to a proper plan for Geeks, right? If you didn't stick for a proper plan, you'll lost in the sea of information there in Geeks for Geeks. So yeah, that's one of the great thing. And oops, also sometimes it might be asked.
Yeah, exactly. I forgot. Sorry. You added in the. You're right. Exactly. Object-oriented
oops are sometimes good
important.
Actually. And like the fourth question I want to ask is, how do you prepare for your aptitude actually? Because first you need to clear your aptitude, then you can clear any other interview. So what are the sources that helped you in cracking the aptitude examination?
Aptitude as basically aptitude programming round, that is basically the online assessment round. Is all mostly the first round, I would say, before the interviews, which you are filtered upon. So for that I would suggest solve problems as much as you can. At least try to solve as much like problems which are coming very frequently in these interviews, which are asked by many companies, which are like very common topics, very basic topics of data structures and algorithms. Cover those. And if you have time, try to solve as many problems, be hands-on, and learn like how can you enhance those things. When can you apply that concept? When can you apply another concept? When can you apply that array? Maybe you can apply this on this problem. And there are standard problems as well as from which you can solve on LeetCode. Maybe there are lists of standard problems which are, so I would say that one advice would be just to solve as many problems as you can.
That is great. And any other resources like of for preparing for API, any websites or something like that?
Sure. I would suggest I did was that I solved problems on LeetCode. I solved LeetCode problems. I used to refer GFG as well as solve on there. But the problems which are coming frequently, I used to solve those. Like company specific tags are there in GFG, so you can go there and solve those problems if you're targeting specific company. Apart from that, I would suggest CodeSignal is also one of the good platforms. There are like practice assessments having like a very timed manner, and like the similar assessments which you face really on the day. So you can go there and you can solve those things. It gives you a feedback also where you're lying. So I use these platforms for that.
That is great. And last and final question is like, what are the basic questions and most frequent interview questions that like asked in software engineering field actually? Because what are the basic topics that they ask actually?
So from my experiences of like giving apps of different companies, what I have felt is that companies ask most like basic. Initially there are many like basic data structures also, as well as basic problems also, as well as basic algorithms also. So they might ask you that, like array, I would say, is one of the concepts they ask frequently. Trees is also they ask frequently. On algorithm sites, they ask you basic algorithms, all algorithms related to these data structures. Like you have cadence algorithm, you have Floyd's algorithm of like for linked list, you have Floyd cycle detection algorithms of linked list. And so these kind of algorithms which are very basic to like the realm of data structures and algorithms, they might come frequently, or their implementation will come in some another problem solving that you are doing. So that is then, and then you can move on to graphs. There are many algorithms on graph as well that are like you need to that should be covered before you are like going for an apti round or maybe interview. It's better to cover those algorithms. Like you are covering algorithms of Dijkstra, Floyd-Warshall. So these are etc. There are many algorithms, so you can cover those. You have a good grasp on those. From dynamic programming also, it's like you have many fields, but you should be, I think, from my perspective, good at the basics of everything. Like if you're going from if you're solving a problem from dynamic programming, that you should be at least hands-on with the basics of dynamic programming, maybe the
Mhm.
basics questions of dynamic programming of trees, maybe like
Okay.
you want to, binary search tree, binary tree basic structures. You are going
Yeah.
with their basic questions like diameters and height and everything, and then you can build upon that. Whenever you get
Yeah.
different hard questions, you can build upon that. Yeah, I can do this now, I'll try for the medium difficulty or maybe the hard difficulty.
Yeah.
So but I would suggest that first cover the basics of all the things that you are having, and then you just build upon that.
Yeah. And that would be great actually. And those are my questions. And thanks for sharing us. And any advice to the people who are starting right now? Like you want to give you advice for your younger self or someone who is starting on this day right now. So like, what is the advice that you want to give them?
That's a tough question, I would say. But yeah, if someone is starting from this day from scratch, I would say be curious first,
Yeah.
because initially you will be curious, your learning curve will be high, but many days will come you'll not feel doing things.
Yeah.
So you have to be curious on that days, I would say, as well as motivated. So be motivated and curious, and do take small steps. You don't need to do everything on one day.
Yeah.
Try to do small steps each day, build upon everything, and take feedback from many people. If you are like not good at something, be hungry to take feedback from different people who are good at these things, so that you can improve on your weaknesses and you can make them your strengths. And you just basic another things that I talked about, the platforms and how coding and everything is there. Just be familiar with it, how things are going to happen in future. Because if you don't know the process of an interview, or like what is an FT round, what comes in it, then you are not very well mentally prepared that what I need to face, I need to
Yeah.
face in future. So
Yeah.
be prepared on that. Just research about how things are going to happen, how placements happen, and how you need to apply, and then
Yeah.
just solve problems and do the things that are required for that.
Yeah, that is great, and we always need to persistence. Like every day, you need to do even a small thing. So that's your
Yeah.
workflow continues, and you want to give every other interview, like because then you lose the, what do you say, fear of giving or talking to people, fear of giving interviews. Yeah. And that's an
Yes.
amazing session we have. It's a abundance of knowledge. I think for audience have enjoyed it so much well. Guys, I will provide all the resources in the description box. Please subscribe. It will always be worth your time. So that's it. Thanks, Saketh, for joining us. It's an absolute pleasure to be sharing the stage with you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Have a nice day ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.